in just a second. I'm getting ready because this is another edition of Hit Me in the Head with a Hymn Book. And of course, we're talking about the stories behind our hymns. The title of the series comes because, well, there's a whole big story there. Go back and watch some of the early episodes, you'll figure it out. But the feature of all these episodes is we are building to me singing these great hymns that we're talking about. So I'm getting ready to sing to you what is an amazing hymn called Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. And we got some comments last time about I didn't even really try to attempt to sing them last time. And so I don't want to disappoint you. We'll get to that in just a minute. But let me tell you the story about this song, because this song came about in 1758. Robert Robinson is the author. He had a rough beginning. His father died when he was young, and his mother, unable to control him, sent him to London to learn how to be a barber. A barber. What he learned instead was how to drink and how to run with a gang. And he was 17. He and his friends reportedly visited a fortune teller there in London. He was overly relaxed by alcohol. That's a fancy way of saying he was drunk. But he and his friends were overly relaxed by alcohol. And they laughed as she tried to tell them their fortunes. But something about the encounter with that fortune teller bothered Robert. And he was feeling guilty about it, but also convicted, but he didn't understand what conviction was. That evening, he suggested to his buddies that they attend an evangelistic meeting that was being held by the famous preacher George Whitefield. Whitefield was one of history's greatest preachers with a voice that was part foghorn and part violin, as it was described. That night he preached out of Matthew 3, verse 7. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming to his baptism, he said to them, "Brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come?" And bursting into tears as he preached, Whitefield exclaimed, "Oh, my hearers, the wrath to come, the wrath to come." Robert, immediately in that moment, according to what he said, was instantly sober. And he sensed that Whitefield's preaching was aimed directly at him. That, of course, would be the Holy Spirit at work. The preacher's words haunted him for 3 years. And he did nothing with it until December 10th, 1755, when he committed his life to Jesus Christ. Robert soon entered ministry 3 years later at the age of 23. He was serving the Calvinist Methodist Chapel in Norfolk, Virginia, and he wrote a hymn for a sermon to be used on Pentecost Sunday. It was a prayer that the Holy Spirit flood into our hearts with his streams of mercy, enabling us to sing God's praises and remain faithful to him. "Come thou fount of every blessing" is the name of the hymn, and it's been a favorite in the church ever since. Robert Robertson continued working for the Lord until 1790, when he was invited to Birmingham, England, to preach for Dr. John Priestley, a noted Unitarian. There, on the morning of June 8th, he was found dead at age 54, mysteriously having passed away quietly in the night. But the hymn is what we remember. Even though we don't remember his story, we don't remember the trip to the fortune teller, we don't remember the conviction that he felt hearing an evangelist, and we don't know what happened with great detail during the 3 years of struggle over what the preacher had said, but we do know what happened in the aftermath, and what we have behind is a hymn that is a legacy. "Come thou fount of every blessing." It says, "Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace, streams of mercy never ceasing, calls for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of God's unchanging love." And so, I'd like to end this time together by singing this song for you. My hope is that as you hear me sing, that you won't hear the vocal quality of my voice, but instead you will hear with the flapping wings of angels as his song wafts to your eardrums. Hold on just a sec. Oh, wait, apparently we're out of bandwidth for the month. And so that means we can't record this for you. We'll have to put off the singing to the next edition of Hit Me in the Head with a Hymn Book. Sorry about that. Sorry for the disappointment. And I know you're disappointed because you just couldn't wait to hear those angel wings flapping, but maybe next time. But until then, duck, don't get hit in the head with a hymn book.